Mama mo ati ase se encrophobia ewo ho a omotro articles pe eya na be pese mekan because these people are sort of giving us the inside feel. Okay, na nipa ba ko a oyese eya na me de eye the secretary to the president, right? The secretary to the president in the person of the executive secretary in the person of Dr. Callistus Mahama. You know, the reason why Ayana me pese engrofo say omotro and they say, you see, these people are close to the president. Omo no etale president, omo no beno. And so say omotro enyama fa ebia bibi ho, they are giving us the inside feel. What you say, enti now what throw on the recent presidential travel, the public trust and the discipline. What you say, discipline and all that. Na me pese ye kenkan ye hwe nsem a ode ababe tuja. And then first time we have subscribing. Na click the notification bell ne so MIN. Comment box ni mu no obetumi eja comment. Se wo ne hwe try and one say what throw one. What you say, throw one, uni hwe try throw one. And I say uni hwe try with the fire emoji. Fashion comment box ni mu MIN. Na answer ni ebeko so no book na that screen no eso no your friend the Ghanaian investor. There are investment schemes, government approved investment schemes ewa Ghana ha say ya enkrofo bebre na enim. A lot of people are making money from these government approved investment schemes. And no ane se odi usika be ho na wada. Oda ebe so abama. But e was say wusua na wuhu sa investment schemes si. Inti pe book we bi nato. Ebe tre enyameni so. Ama wehu de ekọ bia. Oye Ghana ni na wa abrochi a, you can place an order on Amazon. And once what search book no Amazon, the Ghanaian investor, auto a be shape the abro. There is a number on the book 0558074986. You be to me afraid near sort out with the book. There is also a link in the comment box. You can click on it and then you get the book downloaded on your phone quickly. Now, I'll say in recent days, a matter that might ordinarily have passed quietly through the machinery of state has become the subject of public conversation. Some Ghanaians have raised concerns about the use of an aircraft belonging to the president's brother for official presidential travel. Also, the most frequently expressed concern is whether such an arrangement could give rise to a perception of a conflict of interest. And I have a video I'm going to do today on this particular issue in the sense of conflict of interest now MPP for Air Kano. I'm going to do a perfect reaction today, so don't worry. I'll say it is a fair question. In a democratic society, citizens are not only entitled to ask such questions, I'll say they are duty bound to do so. Public life is healthiest where scrutiny is vigorous and where those entrusted with authority remain conscious that trust is both earned and fragile. In that spirit, the concerns deserve reflection rather than dismissal. Now, Utie in someone all can, he's taking there, and I like the approach Dr. Callistus Mahama is taking. In fact, for me, it tells me that the people around His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, no, they have a certain mindset. Okay, Utie in someone all can say, asem way asem bia nanka first no emba bedwem because a buying security issue, but ende ye ka ho asem and the president ye we na question ankrofo san say a conflict of interest abem ana a potential for conflict of interest ana asem wa work no. Now I say a fair question e wo democracy no utumi hu ne say trust e kosoro e wa ban we mu. It is a Ghana for bisan same way. Any kwansi ye bogu. Was see a man crop 14 someone say. Inti Ghana ni bi a wo bisa asem say conflict of interest. Inti no basically someone can say MPP phone someone wo mo kanina no. No problem. Boni nim. Ye explaining in some microphone tiase. It's a good approach, even though a lot of people might not agree. Also, working closely with President John Dramani Mahama over the years, one becomes familiar with the quiet discipline that shapes many of his decisions, particularly the ones that attract little public attention. And you see what I told you. Say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, omwa sa papa we na asem a work no, it tells me omo ne ye adwuma no, omo mentality, and the man himself his mentality. Nti no and an executive secretary no wotre say Mahama you be a woni ni ye adwuma obeti bibia say there is or ye adwuma or there's some discipline, be quite discipline be ye adwuma on no take decisions, especially nyama bebre awo ya Ghana for enhu. You see why I'm telling you, say people close to the man. I like it when people close to the man are writing things like this because they give us an inside view. Now, I'll say the president is acutely aware that leadership in Ghana today carries a particular burden, a demand not only for performance but for moral clarity in the use of public power. That awareness has only deepened since he returned to office on a mandate anchored in what he called the reset agenda. Ose Mahama yobia ne leader hopa na wonim de Ghana for pe. Onim se de Ghana for pe no. Enye se ebia leadership sa keke dabi. Enye se ebia performance keke dabi. Ghana for pe se o perform na so enye no pe no mo pe. Ghana for pe obia o perform na so saying ena Ghana for no ewo Ghana for enim no oluki. Enti the perception clearly ye ni na ye behu. Obi abedi adanse wo mpe Mahama asem gra wo se papa we dia wo kɔ ne ho awoje papa we dia ye humble. Edu baby kram and crofo ka said that the man should be concerned about his security. Now so still me hu no ewo krom say otumi friend crofo ba ne nche ne crofo kasa ne nya onpon crofo. Because he understands say Ghana for no enye just performance. Omo sanso person omo di omoni hu ade no performance ne de Ghana for be pre efri ho say ya ade nanso uhie nipa say na oni nipa kasa. Are you rude? Also, for the reason this issue has not been taken lightly within the presidency. What the public often sees is the aircraft taking off or landing. What is less visible is the difficult balance that must constantly be struck between practicality, security, cost, and national dignity within a president travels. Or say sa de we kra MPP4 can. Mahama kra no mfa easy sa. Ghana for the omu say oh private jet and a jet a president team when say A2 and then say airlande. But there are a lot of things air koso and graphonim. A bit to say security. Is the president safe? A bit to say cost. A coin to na wo to no. A casting and a debo Ghana for. It is a way when they say, oh, obenya another option be a ye safe. One bo Ghana for car. Is he not going to choose that? Or option be a ye safe, which is Ibrahim Mahama no. Jet ni is safe. And also on board my neka. Than say or currency. No wa bo my neka. Anka di en kon select. Inyama we ni na ye nyama bi Mahama wo dwen ho. As a presidential travel is unlike any other form of travel. It is not merely a journey from one city to another. It carries with its layers. It carries with it layers of responsibility. Security protocols, diplomatic engagements, communication systems, and the simple but critical equipment that the head of state remain able to function as the executive authority of the republic, even while thousands of kilometers away from Accra. One of the things an MPP4 can, and a Mahama private jet now offer no, and in jet no, is it safe? And as someone can say, MPP4, just a gun in near Sebi, on you MPP4 bedadomo. You want to tell me that the president kofa linear a jet. Sebi, omon ye checks on who say a safe and son of better name. And then executive we no air cano. Se Mahama wo tu kwanya. Enyama wa mo dwen ho no checks a wa mo ye no security protocol e was say enyama no e pass it through diplomatic engagements at here communication systems bibia Ibrahim Mahama ne private jet no sa enyama ni na no quite modern and it comes at a low cost because any say be our rent. Also, in Ghana's case, the challenge has been compounded by the current condition and limitations of the state available aircraft. Some of the platforms historically used for presidential or governmental travel were never originally acquired for long-range diplomatic missions. Others face technical and operational constraints that make certain journeys impractical or inadvisable. Commercial travel, which some understandably suggest as a simple alternative, is also not always visible for a sitting president, particularly when the travel involves long-haul intercontinental engagements or tightly scheduled diplomatic commitments. Beyond the obvious security considerations, such travel introduces logistical complexities that can make it difficult for a head of state to carry out official duties during transit. Enti Omayati as here, one, the old private jets no, obienim. Even the reason why Anna President Akufo-Addo or the Koko rent a private jet and they say old private jets no, it wasn't fit for purpose. Into the old private jet no, Mahama won't to me use so because obienim say it wasn't fit for purpose, and obienim say up to now it's not fit for purpose. So mugusu yen hu ejuma. Secondly, obi beka so I didn't na one fa a commercial because yes, indeed Mahama fa commercial flights da. But commercial flights no, it depending will be a walk. Say a holidays be pen a walk and I will take it days off be pair. Obe to me the commercial flight akwana be no crown a one in some or but obe to me a sacrifice and all the akko. But or diplomatic missions or meetings be a require a certain level of preparedness. On to me nkonkofa diplomatic. Me see on to me nkonkofa diplomatic. On to me nkonkofa commercial. Commercial na American. On to me nkonkofa commercial. Because commercial no ye ni na ye to album. Iti wa wutie me o ko ebia UK. Only president beti name so ko UK. On to me man what I say flight visa known to me man name because there are a lot of preparations, be security, you know, everything that in fact maybe or country be no akwa sign deal be an bibi krana. It has to go through certain things. Maybe documents, BBB, what you say, all those things. On to me for commercial and use Susana. A commercial no we use to pay there, but it depends on a year mission. Also, none of these realities erase the importance of public perception. And here lies the delicate point. Even when a practical solution exists, leadership must remain attentive to how the public understands it. So see we in an washer. But still, Ghana for some more kind of private jets, nini and private jet, nini na Mahama gusuti. Our reasons there. Now so nini nano, dear Mahama air can say dabi, dear Ghana for Kana, dear Ghana for 80 no, and dear Ghana for 10 no. And who here? I saying there were no Mahama or Pesoye. Also, in private moments, President Mahama often reflects on this tension. The reset agenda he campaigned on was not merely a program of policies. It was only an appeal to rebuild public trust. Trust that institutions will work, that leaders will act with restraint, and that governance will gradually move closer to citizens' expectations. But saying Yama Wayne in Echino, a idea be a Mahama ya no dream hopan. Okona koko to say, or te hona wa dream no wa ye kuma, or dream who say, hey, I didn't come in here bonu. Mini a jet a mifi. Naka boni bi enim na so senya ngrofu yi ka se de de ne hwe e de ne betumi aya fa ho nti asem o kan no e de se John Rawan ma e Ghana fo ne ka MPP4 di omochi a mama me fi MPP4 Charlie MPP4 the audio which ya me kon yes MPP4 cause anti Ghana for the yeah can know. But anyway, this is what his secretary is saying. I recall a moment not long ago during preparations for an overseas engagement when the question of travel engagements came up. The president listened quietly as officials outlined the available options, none of them perfect, After a long pause, he asked a simple question. What is the safest and most responsible option for the country right now? It was not a question about convenience or prestige. It was a question about responsibility. It was okay, say, embre bi atwem no more call program bi sa wa abrochire. Na Mahama ene adwumayefo no omo tie radio seni ayenye kase ye bi omo tie se nkrofo ye discussion ene Mahama jet ya wakwakofa onuane jet de enyo wani de ene Ghana for kana Mahama etie so mo tie we ya na Mahama bi so mo a simple question at the moment no de ene betumi aye like what is the safest option. Mahama bi so mo sa question no omo pese mefa menuane jet ni bi omo ade embo yenka omo mpe. Okay, indeed, at the moment, no, DNA be to me like what is the safest option? Obisa womo. What is the best option right now? I don't know to me ICCR. So I say on another occasion, during a long flight, returning from an international summit, the president spent much of the journey discussing not the meetings he had just attended, but the cost of governance and the need for restraint. Public office must never become comfortable, he said at one point. The moment it does, you stop hearing the people. To say mrebi sa omako program area wo moba. Omako program area na nke wo se nsemu a esi wo program na se na wo se Mahama eka no dabi enye no nsem na wo ka. Eka a won pese obebo oman ne ka no. Akwanti wo ya ye kokra no e sen etu ya sen. Dabi eni kwan se ye share say ye was ye making sure say ye sika so any kwan say ye feel comfortable ye nya ye say ye gigi adem ni feel comfortable a ye ntie Ghana for biom nti no mesremo ye ntiti sika so I say the public rarely sees these moments, yet they reveal how he approaches the burdens of leadership. But resetting the system rarely happens overnight. Many of the state institutions the president inherited, including key operational capacities within the security services, require rebuilding, re-equipping, and careful reform. The Ghana Armed Forces, which play an important role in state aviation, are part of that ongoing process of renewal. Plans are already underway to strengthen Ghana's presidential air transport capability as part of the broader retooling of the armed forces. By November this year, the country is expected to have additional aircraft within the presidential fleet, including one dedicated to the president's travel. When that happens, Ghana will once again have the capacity to rely fully on its own state assets for the safe and efficient transportation of the head of state. It will also remove the need for the kind of temporal arrangements that have generated the current discussion. Inti Ghana phone some more can Mahama say MPP phone some more kano. Nini nane say November. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ankasa ebenya a dedicated presidential jet. Na yeti krumha obi mark esadi when so we are in March. November is just some months away. Obi mark Saadi we ento ha. Asem we are make obi mark into ho. Say krum ha ne yete. Yebehu say that dedicated jet will come and you see the propaganda MPP for ebe yusu also. And ya Mahama kwa spending we dia to we. Omo and the wo musu no. Omo obe propaganda omo de be we. It was say it is worth remembering that an unusual familiarity with its limits has always shaped President Mahama's relationship with public office. Having served as president before and experienced both the privileges and the political cost of leadership, he returned to office with fewer illusions than many leaders possess. I say, those who interact with him daily will recognize a pattern in his thinking, an insistence that the decisions be measured not only by immediate convenience, but by their long-term implications for public trust. So be on the Mahama eye jumano. There's one thing about Mahama ubesuya. So we'll take a decision and yet effect na ebe have and then epe. Say in the long term, idea we are me daakye bi ɛdeɛn ɛna ɛbɛso aba ama me daakye bi mfasoɔ na ɛbɛba so yɛ deɛn nti ɛyɛ na ɔdwen ɛhwɛ kan ebusuafoɔ I know say but the video is getting long. Montreal mo adwo comment box ni mo. Medamo ni na ase.